thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. Sounds like a mouthful, doesn't it? It's the good old King James version of the Bible there, and it's notorious for being hard to read and being hard to understand, but thankfully that's why we have alternate, easier translations to use. But it's always good to have this as a frame of reference, I think. Anyway, welcome back to the 20th Century Dude channel, and we have another pickups video today, and I'm going to try to breeze through this as quick as I can, because I have work in about a half hour, 45 minutes, so I'm going to have to breeze through this as quick as possible. Got some CDs, vinyl, 8-track, a couple of tapes, and then a lot of DVDs and whatnot. And again, I'll try and breeze through this as quick as humanly possible. And I think I'll start at the audio end, since there's not as much in the audio realm of things we have here. I don't know if I showed this off before. The Beach Boys album, Holland, from 1973. And honestly, concerning 8-tracks, it's kind of one of those things. I think for every tape that breaks, because they are pretty easy to snap, depending on their condition, for every tape that breaks, always find one or two more to put in their place, to sort of replenish what you lost. And I suppose this is no different. I had to throw out my Magical Mystery Tour 8-track, so I put this in its place. Now, there's a very funny story about this 8-track. I got it at my local sale barn. We have a sale barn every Wednesday morning from the spring until, I believe, early in the mid-fall. And I picked this up a couple months ago thinking, nothing much about it. No later I get home, and don't I find out that Brian Wilson, the lead singer to the Beach Boys, has died. And didn't I just pick up a Beach Boys 8-track that morning? So that is kind of weird, to be honest, but here we are. So we'll move on next to our only vinyl here. Have the Men at Work album. It's called Business as Usual. And I recognize this cover instantly because anytime a Men at Work song is on Pandora or something, this is usually the cover that I see. So it was pretty easily recognizable. I got this for about $1. It's a pretty nice listen. The first side is maybe a little too dirty, but I think the second side plays pretty nicely. I mean, again, I did get this for $1. CDs. Booyah. Got here some Vertical Horizon from the 90s. You probably have heard this band on the radio a good many times in the past, like 20 to 30 years. This specific album is from, I think it was 1999, but it says 2000 here, so this is definitely like towards the tail end of things. So there's Vertical Horizon. Here's the Bon Jovi album Slippery When Wet. It sold, when this album came out, it sold pretty good in the 1980s. You could say it was very much a hit for Bon Jovi. I did have to put it in a new cover because when I brought it home, the cover actually fell down and shattered. So I just found a loose cover to put it in and fix that problem. Moving onward, we have a complete departure from Bon Jovi, the best of Casey and the Sunshine Band. Again, nowhere even close to that kind of type of music. But hey, you can't go wrong with a little Casey and the Sunshine Band, right? you're gonna have a pretty groovy time, I think. And all of these, I'm gonna just do it in the order release. We got Skillet. Got the Skillet album, Comatose. Back at my old church, the cover here on the front, I believe there was a giant poster of that hanging in there. Probably because the old guard of the youth group had that put in there. Probably, I'm guessing. So I definitely remember this old Skillet in the music when they came out. This is the follow-up album, I believe, Awake. And this is, of course, where their most famous track, Monster. Monster is in here. Now, as good as Skillet is, and I like Monster, but Monster is definitely like overplayed to death. It sort of follows the Michael Jackson Thriller rule, where it seems like that's the only song people know from the group. But again, there's like 100 billion more of these songs from the same group that, in a way, I kind of like more because they don't have as much exposure. But they're just, I think, a lot of songs are better than Monster from Skillet. That's just me. So here's this album, Awake, and we have more Skillet. We have the follow-up album, Rise, and I think there is a DVD in here as well. I'm gonna have to check. I think it's like they had something live going on. There's a... Damn, I gotta be careful. Yeah, there's a little pamphlet in here. Oh, I actually did not dig this out until now. Oh my goodness. That's kind of nice. So they went all out for this album. And yeah, I'm not gonna dig the disc out, but there is like a DVD of, like, I guess a live concert they have in here as well. But yeah, I'm not gonna dig it out because it's gonna be a pain to put back in. We have another follow-up album, Unleashed. If you were aware of, radio stations from around 5-10 years ago, their song "Feel Invincible" played pretty often. This is getting into the newer side of things. This is getting into, just from 2016? Yeah, this is getting to an area of music that I don't really actively listen to anything from the past 10 to 12 years. It's just not my thing. Music sort of lost me after a while, in the 2010s, but whatever, I guess. I don't think this is too overtly modern for me to, like, ignore it. Now, let's see. We have a couple of VHS tapes. There's not many. There's only 3. And I think, for one, I can't seem to recall if I brought up the Outlaw Josie Wales at all. Just in case I didn't... Yeah, I did. I most definitely brought this up in the previous pickups video. So this is a repeat. But anyway, I guess for those of you who did not, here's Josie Wales. I did not see the movie, so I don't know what I will think of it. So there's that. Now, I'll bring up 2 of them I've definitely not seen. We have here Tim Burns' The Nightmare Before Christmas, and I've never seen The Nightmare Before Christmas before. I've been told to watch the movie over and over and over again. Oh, you gotta watch Nightmare Before Christmas. But I just never did. I mean, I'm not really the biggest Burn guy on the planet. But I do want to watch his movie, Ed Wood, based on one of the notoriously worst directors of all time. So that's a movie I do want to see at some point. But I picked this up for like 25 cents, so it's kind of like, okay. So we actually do have a lot of bonus features on here. It's only an hour and 20-minute movie, and it looks like there's an hour's worth of bonus features at the end of it, so that's kind of cool. We get the original theatrical trailer, behind the scenes look at the making of the film, an uncut version of his original Frankenweenie before he did the stop motion animated version. That I did see. But yeah, there's a lot going on in this tape, so we'll move on to our last VHS. We have The Prince of Egypt. And I have never seen The Prince of Egypt. That was always a movie my grandparents always tried so hard to get me to watch because they did have this specific tape. But for whatever reason, as a little kid, I just wasn't really in a big hurry to watch it. It's like, whatever. Oh, look, Finding Nemo, Tom and Jerry. You know, one of the two easiest things I probably would have watched if I went to my grandparents' house. But I picked the tape up for 50 cents, and we'll see if I like it or not. Now, I heard apparently it's like, it's a musical at times. I'm not really a big musical guy, so I don't know if that's something that's gonna deter me from liking this film. I don't know, but I will find out. I know for a lot of Christian families and friends that I talk to, have always looked at me like, "What do you mean you've not seen this movie? Where have you been the past 20 years?" So I guess I missed out for Prince of Egypt. So I'll have to get on that. So we do have a couple of HD DVDs, and I also picked this one up at the sale barn. This is the Martin Scorsese film, The Departed, and I'm honestly not sure if I'm going to like it or not. I think considering the, I guess, spiritual journey I'm going on, so to speak, there are some films I'm thinking of would not be good to keep, and some other ones that might be okay, and honestly, I'd have to watch this one to find out if it's worth keeping for that reason. It is rated R, and I know Scorsese doesn't really like to play the whole family-friendly button. But I guess we'll find out. Again, I've not seen this, so I can't exactly say whether or not that'll be something I keep. These two were interesting finds, so if you remember Birgit Fleming from our Is It Broke or Fixable series, about a week or two ago, we went to, I went to my first estate sale / auction. There was a whole bunch of hardware and goodies over there, and there is some new equipment I do want to show off, but I'll save that for another video, because we won't have time for that today, and there are kinks in a few of the models that do need worked out before I can just, show them to you. Because unfortunately I ran into the problem that just about everything I got either partially works or has some kind of gimmick that prevents it from working. Now I will give some spoilers. I did get like a spare Laserdisc player, and that does mostly work, but from what I hear, the only thing I need to do to clean it up a little, because the quality's iffy, the lens inside needs cleaned out. So if that's it, and that's the bulk of my problems, and the Laserdisc player is ready to go. I did get a new beta model. It is actually a super beta model. On eBay, you'd be paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars for. Buy one out for $27, so that's not terribly bad. There's just little kinks in there we gotta work out. Apparently, I gotta make sure never to flip open the super beta button, because that made it go on the fritz, so I couldn't get it working for a while, and it now played okay, but I took all these to Burkett, and we'll get the doctor's opinion and what he thinks we should do about these machines. But anyway, I also did find a Blu-ray and HDD combo player, but we'll save that for another video. But anyway, I found these HD DVDs. These are like, I guess, what you would call a demo disc. These are probably what you'd see playing at like a Walmart or a Best Buy or electronics store to um, show off the electronics. And this is, a digital video essentials, high definition, test and demonstration materials. There's not much on here in terms of that, and this is an HD sampler. Is just playing lots of stock clips to again show off the HD DVD system. You got stuff from Antarctica, underwater, fireplace, Hawaii, space, Southwest, the seas. You get the point. I did see this pop up here as an option to play on here, so if that happens to be a repeat, I don't really need to keep this. But I have a friend that has an HD DVD, so HD DVD player, so maybe I'll just give this to him. Yeah, so moving on to Blu-ray and DVD. I don't believe I've showed this off before, but just in case I didn't, this is my new Blu-ray of Jaws, which is now 50. And hopefully I get a chance this week to go see it in theaters. I believe this is its last week out. But this movie's 50 now, so you can imagine. And let's see here. Oh, yes. The Adventures of Robin Hood. This is from the 30s, 1938, I believe. This was a popular hit with audiences and one of the first biggest portrayals of Robin Hood on screen with Errol Flynn. And I already had this on tape, but I saw this on a Blu-ray, and it's like, you know what? Why not? So we have here our last Blu-ray, the Christopher Nolan film, The Prestige. Now, I already had The Prestige on DVD, but I saw this as a chance to upgrade to Blu-ray, and unfortunately, the cover is starting to unwind, and I mean like really bad, so I'm gonna have to apparently do some repair on this. This is gonna definitely drive me nuts later. Also, good helpful tip: if you're gonna sell something to people, make sure it's in a nice condition. Por favor. All right, we have here another Christopher Nolan film, Insomnia. This is the only Christopher Nolan movie I have not seen. I've seen everything else except this movie. So thankfully I can actually now get around to watching this, which is kind of nice. And we do have a good handful of bonus features on here as well. So that's kind of nice. So I'll have to let you know what I think about it when I get around to it. We have here the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which I thought was alright. I think it was enough to, pick it up on a DVD. Now, I wouldn't ever probably pick this up on Blu-ray. Like, I like the movie. I don't like it that much, though. I think a DVD is probably fine. Looks like we still got a little Blockbuster insert in here as well, so I have a feeling, yep, somebody picked this up at a Blockbuster, and looks like I want to say it's July 2004 for $12.99. Can't say that's terribly bad. And what do we got here? We do have a couple of Marvel movies on DVD. I know these aren't exactly great. These weren't exactly the greatest of Marvel's works, but we have here X-Men Origins Wolverine. And for those of you who've seen the movie, you know this one's kind of a doozy. There's very little redeeming quality in this at all. I figured I'd get it to help build up my X-Men collection, but otherwise there really was no other need to get that movie. And I'm sure the same could be said for Elektra, which really is, I think, still one of the worst Marvel movies of all time. But this is the spin-off to Daredevil, and it's kind of what ended the Daredevil series at the time. Daredevil did not appear on screen again until, I believe, the TV series, of course, played not by Ben Affleck, but by a different actor. And this was not exactly a great hit for Fox. Again, it's a doozy. I know from definitely what I remember, the lighting in the movie's not particularly great at times. It does come off as sort of cheap and amateur, almost not really better than what I'm doing. I only have like the one light set up, and that's to make sure I don't appear dark on screen, and that way I don't have to color correct and brighten so much when I have to go and edit this video. Moving on, we have here the James Cameron movie True Lies, and I think out of this entire stack, this is probably, I probably would have been okay not getting this on DVD. I already had this on Laserdisc. I probably would have been content to get it, just let it stay on Laserdisc. When I sort of picked it up, I saw it, I'm like, ooh, but I feel like now that I think about it, I brought it home, was like, I don't know. I probably wouldn't have been as big of a hurry to go get it, but oh well, I guess. We have here a John Wayne movie, and keep in mind I've also not seen this. This is the D-Day movie, The Longest Day. It is I thought it was a 1950s movie, but I guess it's actually from 1962. So I actually was wrong about that. So this is The Longest Day, and I've not seen this, so I don't exactly have an opinion on this movie. Very seldom do I pick up a movie on DVD that I've not seen before. So I guess this is one example of I pick up something on a disc that I've not seen, but to be fair, I got it for like $1, so I mean, if I ended up not liking anything, then it's not like I lost a terrible amount of money. We're going to get into some westerns now. We have here Once Upon a Time in the West, which I've also not seen. It's a very famous 1960s western starring Henry Fonda and Charles Bronson. Also another one from Sergio Leone, but of course not having to do anything with his Clint Eastwood dollars movies. And this was an interesting one. We have True Grit, and even though it's technically the new one on the front, there's actually both. So whoever had this had both. So this is the John Wayne one, and this is the new one, the one that's actually on the cover. So that's kind of cool, and I don't know why this one wasn't separate, but whatever, I guess. Of course, very early movie for the actress Haley Steinfeld, and we have Jeff Bridges in the role of Rooster Cogburn instead of John Wayne. Speaking of the John Wayne one, I'm told there's a Rooster Cogburn movie from the 70s, but I have not seen that anywhere, so I guess when I find it, I'll find it. And last but not least, and I figured I might as well give this a try now that all the movies are out, this is the complete first season of the original Mission Impossible TV series. Now, I've only seen, like, a few episodes, like, ever for the original Mission Impossible series, so I'm not terribly familiar with it. I predominantly grew up with the movies with Tom Cruise in them. That was my exposure to Mission Impossible. And I figure now they're all out, why not take the time and watch the original series and see what I think of it. And I think I'll probably like it. I don't see why I wouldn't. So I would have liked to have streamed it on mine. Unfortunately, the only two options I came across were Amazon Prime, where you have to rent it per episode. By the end of the show, you'd probably pay like a couple $100 just to watch the whole thing, which is stupid. Or you can watch it on Pluto for free, but they only have like parts of the show, so you can have seasons 1 and 2, but then it like skips to 5 and it skips to 7 and 8. It's like, but I just want the whole show. So maybe I'll have to see if I can get like a complete DVD box set of this show for Christmas. That way I'm not skipping around a whole lot. But otherwise, that's about all I have for today. We're going to finish off with Mission Impossible. So that's my collection, and well, additions to my collection, I guess I should say. So about my collection series, I did say I would show off some of my new hardware, which I will do at some point. Considering the direction I am going in life, not that having things isn't, nice at all, but I don't want to come across as too terribly materialistic, I guess. I think ultimately what's most important is, right here, the Word. It does warn about being too materialistic and being too fond of one's possessions. I do have to understand that the day may come when all collecting these are cool and it helps preserve something of the past. They will quickly become irrelevant one day when Jesus returns. Although maybe he'll be found Prince of Egypt, I don't know. But I think the day is coming when suddenly something like collecting True Grit for the sake of collecting True Grit is going to quickly turn into, we don't even need this anymore. So I don't know. I'm not going to discourage anybody and say don't collect anything. But I think for where the world will be headed in the next several decades, and what's in this book here, certain things are more important than others, I suppose. So anyway, that's all I have for today. That's my most recent pickups video, and I think I might just wait and pick up until maybe Christmas time or after Christmas, I don't know. Anyway, that's all I have for today, so thank you for tuning in to the 20th Century channel. Hope to catch you on the fly. See you.